Have you ever been here before?
Have I ever been here? Have I ever been to an institution for the criminally insane before? No. First time.
Yeah, me too.
Bro, why are we here?
I want to check it out.
I want to check it out.
Yeah, I want to
Bro, this is...
It's
man.
fine. It's fine. Nobody's even here. Nobody's here.
Wait. Look.
What is this? Tape recorder? Why is this still here?
It's a tape in it.
It is? Press play.
I'm not pressing play.
Tell me you don't want to
Man,
hear.
it could be all
Tell me you don't want to
hear. It could be anything on that thing, man. We don't
Look me in
know.
my eyes and tell me you don't want to hear what's on a tape that you found inside of an insane asylum.
I do not want to do that.
You don't want to do that?
No.
Well, I do.
My name is Leonard Munson, also known as the Soul Snatch Killer, which I've never really liked, by the way. I don't snatch souls. I release them. I free them. Anyway, this is my recorded confession. Before I start, I just want to say, to me, the scariest part of hiding, and the scariest thing that I know, is that if you get caught where you're hiding, there's nowhere for you to go. I've never been fond of basements, spiderwebs, and dark spaces, but they have these great hiding places. I guess you could say that's what this place is. It's quiet, almost muted, but yet I can hear her breath. I feel her movements. I taste the terror that she is feeling right now, the indecision, the panic, her heart racing frantic. To her, I must seem gigantic. I watched her as she tiptoed down the stairs, taking the greatest of care to make sure that nobody hears as she tries to bury her fear, but I saw her, and I followed her, stalkingly. It was like her spirit could talk to me, her very soul, it called to me saying, "Let me go, set me free." She's all alone now. Her brother went up to the attic. He figured he would be safe. His boxes up there from when they moved in. Behind them was his favorite hiding place. But the attic was one of my earlier choices. It was really a suitable fortress, but it's too easy to hear voices, footsteps, and other noises. See, the stairs, they creak. And the floorboards up there are weak. But even if you made it up there safely, you wouldn't be able to make a peep. And her brother was loud and clumsy. He didn't even have a chance to hide. He just dropped to his knees with his cries and his pleas. It might as well have been suicide. Their parents, they were easy. I caught them both while they were sleeping. I don't want to give too many details. Let's just say I did some things not worth repeating. But she was my prize. You see, the others were merely obstacles, but her soul called to me. I replied. That's just something you all should know. See, she asked me for this. Well, no, not verbally at first. But this isn't hyperbole. She'd flirt with me way past the point of uncertainty. It was no denying the connection. She was vying for affection, dying for protection. And who am I to refuse, huh? There was nothing else I could choose. Who's to say that this isn't how it's supposed to be? Her spirit brought her close to me. And there's a proper way to free a soul. You can't just kill her because that wouldn't achieve the goal. See, she had to ask me for it. Ask me for it with all sincerity. And when she finally reached her moment of clarity, her soul could be freed because it had been prepared to be. You see, I didn't snatch her soul. It was simply emancipated, liberated from captivity. The innocent don't belong in this world's vicinity, along with the torment, terror, and obscenities. I know I am not pure. But not because of what I did in that house. That was vindication, absolution, a solution to bring retribution. My impurity started long ago when you and me, well, we dwell in the land of the wicked. It's a sickness. We belong amongst the damned seeking forgiveness, but she was perfect. I couldn't risk being spoiled or soiled by hatred, envy, or evil. I couldn't allow her to be negatively influenced by other people. There was a reason they say the good die young. It is because they are supposed to. You are corrupted by what you go through, or as it is in my case, you are born from the sins of the old you. I am no villain. I am a family member removing life support from a suffering loved one. So no, I am not ashamed. I am proud of my work. This world belongs to the beast, therefore the beautiful must be released. And while I may be here with you for the time being, my work is not finished yet. I will return to freeing the souls of the innocent for their benefit. I will continue freeing that haloed energy, and in doing so, I will achieve divinity. Mark my words.
Okay. Not gonna lie.
Man, this is what I was talking
That
about
story
in the
was
first
kind of
place.
crazy.
I'm
You
not
think
trying
there's any
to
more
sit
tapes in here?
In a this
you wanna
this
leave?
man, bro. Do this seem like somewhere we should be, bro? Like, let's think about
we
this.
just found. Look at
Yo,
what
we need
just
to go,
found.
bro.
Why would we leave now?
This is the beginning of a scary movie. How do you not see that?
No.
How do you not see that, man? How do you know it's not
Look,
chainsaw?
I'm gonna search around for another tape.
You gonna go to other
There's
rooms,
gotta be a
bro?
tape here.
You are wild.
Another tape here somewhere. Or something.
You really trying to get me
found
killed
one.
tonight,
Found
huh?
one. Here.
Bro, if somehow we make it
Where's
out of
the
here
tape recorder?
alive,
Give it here.
I'm gonna kill you myself.
Got it.
Good evening, detective. Doctor. Can I get a smoke? Thank you. You've come here a few times now, detective, and you continue to ask me, how can I live with myself? How could I do such a thing? How could I behave in the way that I have behaved? And here's the problem I have with that line of thinking. It looks at it from such a judgmental point of view. Like, here's the thing. Nobody ever looks at it from my perspective. If you had to live a life like mine, you might die, detective. Could you imagine living your life with no empathy, feeling no sympathy? Do you know what that has meant for me? I remember my father telling me, you're either going to be what this world wants you to be or what you want to be, but you can't be both. I'll never forget the smell of liquor on his lips as he pinned me down and grabbed me by my throat. He said, if a man can't protect himself, then he doesn't deserve to breathe. He'd beat me so often that I wet the bed when I sleep. That was on a regular basis, not every now and then. At least 3 and 4 days a week until I was 10. I remember I was 10 because it was my birthday. And I didn't even want to have a party in the first place, but they both insisted. They made invitations. They were so persistent, but really they just wanted to pawn the gifts from my friends, except nobody showed. And they wound up losing money in the end. And then, my dad, he gets all mad. He starts to push me. He told me I had no friends because I'm a pussy. He said he could no longer even pretend to like me. Then he leans in and strikes me, screaming, fight me at the top of his lungs, saying how he didn't think that I was his son. What did he think that I would have done? If a man can't protect himself, then he doesn't deserve to breathe. So that night, while he was passed out drunk, I smothered him in his sleep. Oh well. I had to protect myself. That was just self-care. I couldn't continue to neglect myself. That wouldn't have been fair. But after that night, my mom was never the same. I received all the blame for the years of torment and pain. She also blamed me for ending it. Ironic, because she tried once too, but she couldn't finish it. She figured it out the second time, though. Doctor said there were enough drugs in her to kill her 11 times. I remember, because I was 11 at the time. The look on that social worker's face when she saw the bruises all over my body, the burn marks from the cigarettes being put out on my skin. I had lost so much weight by then I was practically razor thin. And in 10th grade, I took biology. It was my favorite class. We studied animals. I even dissected a pig. I took to it extremely fast. There was something about being able to see exactly what makes a thing, and how there are an infinite amount of ways to send that thing to an eternal dream, and that intrigued me. So, wanting to learn more, I would go home and explore, but when my foster mom saw her cat, she just screamed in horror. I had no idea I had done anything obscure. I was just doing the exact same thing in school 2 days before. What's the difference? Well, needless to say that right from that day I had to go and live with someone different. Almost anyone who's ever met me has cursed my existence. I lost count of how many schools I've attended throughout the years. Kicked out of here, transferred over there. But I remember what was said. How there's evil in my soul, how there's demons in my head. I was mostly by myself up until 8th grade. Never really fit in with the children as they played. They'd say, he can't play, he's too stupid to understand the rules anyway. But I understood the rules. That if you're not cool, the kids would get cruel. Faculty had no control over those schools. Though, it was one teacher that didn't always try to control me. Didn't live to just scold me. She loved me. I believed this because she told me. And she showed me. The connection was instant. Until one day she began acting distant. If you didn't know any better, you might have missed it. But I could immediately notice the difference. In a way, she treated me the absolute worst. Never mind that she was my first, but she made me believe in my own self-worth. She gave me hope. But in the end, she just used it as rope to hang me. I was devastated more than angry, and frankly, I wanted vengeance. I wanted her to feel what I felt in that instance, but I was young, and I thought that I really loved her. I just wanted her to learn from her mistakes. You know, that I'm not trash for you to take out to the curb after you scraped your plate. But how would she ever learn if there's no consequences for her actions? So, I went and found 3 teachers that all shared her initials, and they stabbed them. The next day, I brought her a newspaper with that story on the headline. I told her that this is a sick world we live in. Please, be safe. Make it home by bedtime. And can you believe that bitch turned me into the police? I did her a favor, and this is the thanks that she shows me. How was any of this my fault when she chose me? But hey, you live and you learn. For whatever reason, the police didn't seem overly concerned. I answered a couple questions, and back to school I returned. Later on, I found out that they thought that those murders were unrelated, and in each of those cases, they blamed the person that they were dating. After that, though, she transferred schools. She must have changed her name because I couldn't find her. But every year on her birthday, I always made a point to send her a nice reminder. You know, in the news. And at the end of the day, I guess that's why I'm locked up here. Apparently, I'm criminally insane, mentally deranged, though one could argue that from love I have been estranged and preordained for pain. Was I born this way or was I trained? They must think that I'm fucking stupid the way that they lie to me. And they must think I don't hear them talking about lobotomy. But obviously, I'd kill everyone in here before I let these sons of bitches poking pride in me. Because if a man can't protect himself, then he doesn't deserve to breathe. I'll protect myself from them, detective. But can they protect themselves from me? You remember this conversation? Blah! Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so somebody's clearly leaving these for us to find.
Yeah, but what if he didn't leave them for us to find? What if he just lives here and he just leaves all of his stuff?
Now we gotta find the next
What if he's just not the most tidy psychopath? And now
let's
you're
check
just
over.
going through his stuff. Wouldn't you be pissed if somebody was going through your stuff?
Yeah, you're right. If I could go back over and do it again, I probably wouldn't have come in here. But now, we're in here. And now, we know about the tapes.
And now we can just leave.
Now,
Why not?
we gotta know how it ends.
Bro, I only care how this ends.
You're gonna
for
miss
my
out on the
character.
chance.
I'm leaving.
This is the chance of a lifetime.
I'm going home, bro. Good luck.
You're going home. Wow. Okay. I guess I'm in it myself.
Any change? No. All right.
Let me ask you something, Doc. Am I just an experiment to you? Data for you to study? You don't like me, you don't love me. But you can't get enough of me, huh? You're different from most people, though. Most people like to ignore us. We're everywhere you look with no particular place to be found. One of us goes missing, comes up dead. Police officers don't even come around. Only time they show up is to beat you for laying down, walking around, making sounds. Doesn't even have to be anything that severe. I'm literally on the corner begging for my life. And you act like I'm not even here. Y'all don't see the person in me. And me, being a person, of course, I take that shit personally. See, society wasn't working for me. I lost my job during the recession. My home, my wife, my kids, my life. That should never happen to a veteran. But politicians are more worried about elections. The homeless don't vote. They just float, stranded in a boat with no paddle, broken and battered from battle. Neglected by every asshole, so most just blend in, lay low, stick to the shadows. That is, unless it's the holidays. Then we have more turkey than we can eat. Christmas toys to girls and boys with no shoes and socks on their feet. There's no rules in these streets. You win if you're strong and you lose if you're weak. And until now, the poor have been supplied with nothing but the tools of defeat. So, if you want to come down to Skid Row, there's something that you should know. There's a man down there protecting people, doing things to lift hopes. You see these rich mopes drive down there to get dope and have the nerve to look down on us to shame us because we're broke. But recently, people have been showing us more decency. Where before we were ignored, now outsiders are almost afraid to speak to me. And they don't have a dream of disrespecting me. That's because he's protecting me. He's protecting all of us, but you can't just call him up. See, he's nowhere, and he's everywhere just like the rest of us. Looking out for the little people. He can't protect us from poverty, but he helps shield us from the evil. I recall seeing him one time. He was talking to some guy in the lunch line who had been beaten bloody and robbed. And what originally struck me as odd is that he didn't thank God he survived. No. He thanked that man instead, then shook his head and said, "Without you, I'd be dead. This cruel world we live in. And the evil wants you to give in, and if you're not careful, it'll slip in. You start by saying something mean to someone. It's not like you, but you do it to fit in. The next thing you know, you're the mean kid in class. And you think it's funny to just laugh at people who don't have what you have, when really, it's just sad. But you being you, you've lost your empathy. And you think poor people are your enemy. You aren't Christian, you just pretend to be. I think that's a different type of hatred. Would you take a life to save a life, or does it matter whose life you're saving? Why should I be patient and wait for justice from a system that doesn't even think I need saving? I've been hearing voices in my head since just after I deployed. First night on the base, we got ambushed. Since then, I've been paranoid. PTSD from what I see. Most likely, I'm schizophrenic. At night, I'm screaming in my sleep because I think my life is ending. I'm back home, but I'm still in hell. It's like my life's a prison. I was there for God and country. So why wasn't I forgiven? And the funny thing is, everybody seemed content to stay at the bottom, which protected you from having to. The least you can do is show us some fucking gratitude, but no. We get bad intentions and bad attitudes, so I did what I had to do. Choked a few, stabbed a few, gave some throats a slash or two. It's crazy how they laugh at you until they see you laughing too. Then it's, "Oh no, save me, please help, he's crazy." Well, maybe, but I'm not stupid, no. Nor am I doormat for your boots to go. I came up with this solution though. If I catch you mistreating us, disrespecting or beating us, then you better call Jesus up and pray for forgiveness, because the two of you are about to be meeting up. And I don't care if you're an officer of the law, a drunk college kid coming out of a bar, the biggest man I ever saw, a soccer mom in her car. So take this memo to your next PTA meeting. We are no longer begging for your tolerance while accepting your pity. You think this is your city? We can put you in places you'll never be seen or heard from again, my friend. Or we can continue being your motivation, your safety net. And if you're polite, you won't have to meet that grisly end. And you can continue to pretend, but when you pull up to that intersection, or you're outside that grocery store, don't act like you don't know what I'm approaching you for. So let's try this again. Got any change?
Man, that dude sounded creepy.
Man, I thought you left. What are you doing here, man?
No, you're right. Yeah, no, I was leaving.
Yeah.
I tried to leave.
You said you were
but
leaving.
I couldn't find my way out of this place. It's like a maze. Like it's doors,
Oh, yeah.
corridors,
You're scared,
hallways,
right? You're scared to go back on your own.
pathways. And next thing I know, I'm right here standing next to you.
Okay, well, why didn't you say something? Standing next to me.
What am I gonna say? Hey,
Yes.
you know?
Yes, let me know I'm standing next to you.
I thought you saw
man.
me. I thought you saw me.
Standing behind. You know what? Never mind. It's just pitch black in the scariest place I've ever been
now
before
you
in
scared.
my life. But yeah, I should have.
Well, you know
saw
what? You
I
keep
guess.
that tone up, and I'm not gonna show you what I found.
Oh, you found the tape?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Tape
should have
number
led with that,
4.
man.
You want me to play it or not?
Of course, I want you to play it.
All right then. Oh, hey. That tune you just played? It's such a lovely tune. It's just great. Did you know I wrote it? That was my first hit. All of the pretty ladies love to hear me sing. There's actually an interesting story hiding behind this tune. Before the gals would sneak into my dressing room just to hear me croon. Before they'd come over to my house, sit down on the couch and beg me to take my guitar out. You say what? What do you mean you never heard of it? Just about everyone knows every word of it. I just wanna feel your skin on me. Your aroma has me feeling weak. I lay you down until you fast asleep. Got you alone now, it's just you and me. No? You've never heard it. Well, that's just absurd. It's only the biggest song played on the radio from here to Hong Kong. I've toured in over 100 countries. People clamor to get autographs from me. All the men want to be me. All the women want to be knee deep into things I can't show you on TV. If you know what I mean. Well, almost all the women. That's the story I mentioned earlier. Everyone except the beautiful Michelle Cantrell. Boy, was she swell. She's the reason I wrote that song in the first place. I took my guitar and sang for her over at her place. You should have seen the look on her face. She was completely surprised, but then again, so was I. Because when I got there, she was there with another guy. Apparently, she had a boyfriend this entire time. I felt like the victim of a heinous crime. I was heartbroken. I promised her she'd make the biggest mistake of her life. I told her she should have been my wife. And out of nowhere, this guy just goes berserk and grabs a knife. I said, whoa, hey. I was so confused. He just started screaming at me out of the blue. I said, excuse me, sir, but no one is talking to you. This is between me and my old lady. You ain't gonna start calling me crazy. Michelle said I should leave, but I mean, how could I? I had to protect her from this psychopath. So, I reached for the first thing I can grab, used my guitar and swung it like a bat. Pow! It dropped like a rock. Michelle must have been in shock because I screamed for her to look at me over and over and over and over, and she just would not. I thought she was coming to hug me, but she just shoved me, called me ugly. Then she snapped at me, telling me that she never loved me. She said that the man on the ground was the love of her life, and it never was me. Now, by now, I was completely distraught. I really wanted to be the person that she could be attracted to, so I knew what I had to do. I picked up the knife and slowly began to trace. I think to myself, she doesn't like my face, that's fine, that's okay. I'll just switch and replace. Honestly, it hurt really bad, but that was because I had to take my time with mine. With him, I was able to cut pretty fast, but Michelle, she just got so mad. Even once I was finished, she called me a creep and said I was sick, and that she never even loved me from the beginning, and that there was no skin that I could jump in to hide me from the hell of my sinnings. I couldn't believe she would say these terrible things of her own free will. Sometimes I think back to it now and it still gives me a chill. So I just got out of there, you know? I mean, he had obviously turned her bonkers. I really dodged a bullet with that one. Almost went down a path I couldn't come back from. I wonder whatever happened to old Michelle Cantrell. I hope she's well. I can tell that boyfriend was gonna be seeing his way inside of a jail cell. I mean, you could see it coming. They just didn't belong together. She was absolutely stunning. Could honestly do much better. Maybe I'll look her up, put an ad in the paper. She always liked the circus. I'll plan a date, and I'll take her. And if she doesn't want to come, that's okay, I'll just make her. Yeah, we'll have a lovely time. As soon as I come back from tour, she'll probably leap into my arms as soon as I walk through that door. Thank you, sir. This is the best interview I've had in quite some time. If you have any more questions, feel free to write sometime. Oh, hey. That tune you just played? Did that guy say he cut his face off?
Yes, he
He
did.
just put somebody else's face on his face?
know,
Man, what the
that's-
hell?
Hey, listen,
What are we listening to? Did you even know that you could do that? Did you know that was possible?
I mean, I saw it on a movie once, but you know, I mean,
Man,
that's not real. This is messed up, man. This is messed up.
Okay, well, do you agree that we should leave now? Like, we can go home now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just leave.
But there's only 2 more tapes.
See, you on that bullshit, man.
5 and 6, and then we're done. We can leave.
Okay,
They're
we
short
can leave.
tapes. Let's just.
You know what else is short? Life
just let
is
this
short,
one go.
especially when you're hanging around in a singer
Look,
song.
here's 5 right here. Let's just play it real quick. Damn. Patient Bennington is exhibiting a most curious set of symptoms. We meet almost every day, and every day what he says does not sway even down to the last sentence. No matter how many times we speak, he always mentions hearing a song. One that he wrote nonetheless, same melody, same lyrics, same song that no one else can hear, but Mr. Bennington has never been a songwriter or a singer. In fact, Mr. Bennington has been in this hospital for almost 30 years. The story is completely fabricated, yet it seems to be his entire existence. Any attempt to change the pattern isn't even met with resistance, it's simply not acknowledged. It's like we aren't even in the same universe. It's truly remarkable, but it's troubling partly though, because even though he isn't a threat to society, he has extremely low odds of surviving, let alone thriving. But due to dwindling government assistance, he may become one of the system's victims. I could be absolutely wrong about this prediction, though I don't believe I am when I say this is precisely why we should pick him for the Compassionate Release Program. Along with patients Elliot Daniels and Jonathan Ramon, once processed, they can go home and live on their own. They will each receive $73 weekly and 3 weeks of medication for their psychiatric ailments and any other illness they may have. With Mr. Ramon being confined to a wheelchair, no matter his spunk or his liveliness, he is effectively harmless, so to speak. His pending lobotomy appointment has been canceled, and he will be released by the end of this week. Patient Daniels, however, was a bit more challenging. While his criminal history was damaging, during his trial there were several prosecutory mishandlings. In addition, since Mr. Daniels has been a resident here at Oak Park, several eyewitnesses have gone missing, and the rest have recanted their testimonies. He was scheduled for retrial per his appeal, but the original prosecutor was killed the day he offered the deal. He was hit by a driver while walking to his car that night. The state, having no witnesses and now losing their district attorney, they felt they should put an end to this judicial journey and decided Mr. Daniels should be a free man. But with the growing number of missing persons in the downtown area, I think it's something to be wary of. It's scary because in these interviews, he speaks about how prepared he was and how it would be easy to bury us, but I guess that's irrational thinking. Not only because he's locked in this institution, but because he's 72 years old. I see him every day, most of which he's in a state of bewilderment and confusion. Routinely, he confuses things he should remember keenly, yet he believes he is some sort of homeless person's vigilante. He can't be, can he? I guess it doesn't matter either way, since he's already set to be released. And earlier today, I just noticed we don't even know if his medication is the correct dosage. There should be an extensive monitoring of these patients, but we don't have time for waiting. I mean, I do believe they need saving. And aside from a few outbursts, they have been behaving. These candidates have been prized patients in comparison. Take patient Leonard Munson, for example. Since he's been here, he's been suspected of having killed 7 employees over 5 occasions. But there's no proof or documentation, just whispers between the orderlies. I'm certain there's something more to these stories we haven't uncovered yet. I'm gonna bet that every victim was nice to him, and as a reward, he released their souls, taking their lives from them. That man will literally kill you if you smile at him or even polite to him. He should never see outside again. He should never see the light of day. In my professional opinion, we should execute him right away. At the very least, no matter how low funding gets, it's imperative that we always have a place for the soul snatcher. Those factors that I mentioned earlier with the other 3 pale in comparison to the consequences of us not taking care of him, which is why I've requested immediate release into society for Mr. Ramon, Mr. Daniels, and Mr. Bennington, respectively. I wish them the best individually and collectively. I will cross my fingers for luck, but I truly believe these are the best candidates, even if only due to their physical inability to act, and beyond that, they seem to want compassion in any form or fashion, and I believe in facilitating this, there will be a positive reaction. But one can only hope, wait, and see. I shall look forward to the results. I wonder if he was right.
Judging by the looks of this place, I'm gonna bet against him.
Man, you can't judge by that. This stuff could have happened way after. This place been abandoned for years.
Okay, but what about the blood over there? That blood look old, right?
Yeah, but that blood look new right there.
That's not helping your argument.
I'm just saying we don't know what happened, when, where, what, to
All
whom,
I'm saying is,
or
I
whoever.
don't want
That's all I'm saying.
whatever happened to whoever it happened to, whenever it happened to them,
What?
to happen to me.
That's too many twos. I don't know what you're talking about.
So now you gonna play
All I
dumb.
know is I found the 6th tape. You know what I'm about to do, right?
Yeah, I know what you about to do.
I'm about to press play.
Well, then press play then. Let's we can get the hell up out of here.
Okay. I have made a grave and treacherous miscalculation. I have mistaken criminal masterminds as patients. I really thought I could help save them, silly me. A little guidance, a little patience, someone to listen to them is all they really need. How naive could I be? I practically begged them for their statements, each and every one of them. They knew I needed their stories. They could smell my desperation and they just served them up for me. While I thought I was gaining insight, I was being manipulated by everyone in sight. The soul snatch killer, the birthday butcher, the vagrant, every one of them calculated and patient. But the Academy Award, the Academy Award has to go to Chet Bennington. Over a dozen times I would visit him and he would say the same thing every time, word for word. And when he was done, he would just pause, then begin again. I freaked them thinking they'd finally be able to begin life, knowing what it was like to be ostracized and rejected, tormented and neglected. Of course you'd be a little eclectic. But this is not that. This is a collection of intellectuals running at peak capacity. I am reminded of my second interview with the birthday butcher. I recall he kept asking me if I thought this was a game that we were playing. It never occurred to me that that was exactly how he wanted me to feel. Thinking about it now gives me chills. These people don't get broken, they break. And now they've been unleashed into the open, free to terrorize and kill simply for the thrill of killing's sake. They laid the trap and the bait. They sat back and watched me react to my fate. They just attack and they take. It was such an intricate plan. The Soul Snatch Killer interview. That's where it initially began. He had to show himself, and I mean, truly show himself. He knew that as long as I saw the monster in him, a man with no remorse, I'd have no choice but to see the tortured souls of the others. They knew I would be attracted to that voice. They had to have studied me, learned my history. They knew exactly how they could get to me, each of them, stealing bits and pieces of my life and weaving them into theirs until I wasn't just believing them, but seeing me in them. Or maybe it's none of that, and I just wanted to be right. Maybe my ego made love to my insecurities and I was so blinded I couldn't see the disparities. Maybe I was poisoned by my pride and I couldn't see the severity. I don't know what I know anymore. It's a funny word though. Pride. I always took pride in being the smartest person in the room, but pride is eager to consume, and soon, if you're not careful, pride will escort you to your tomb. I have so many regrets in my recent history, but at least there's hope for some small piece of victory. I managed to lock the asylum down from the rest of the world before they were able to escape captivity. But now it's just them and us. I'm the one feeling captive, with them hunting around in this vicinity. I can even hear their footsteps as they walk past, searching, listening. The screaming from the less fortunate orderlies, and the sounds of their body parts ripping. My fear is crippling. I'm sitting in the corner of my office in an attempt to avoid the chaos amongst us, to hide from these monsters. I've barricaded myself inside with nothing but my reports and my charts and my data to protect me. Praying and hoping they forget me, but I'm secretly hoping that since I'm the one that freed them, they respect me enough to let me. I don't know. I just know I don't want to die here wallowing in my fear. The smell of my own urine in the air. This is a fucking nightmare. Wait a minute. Someone's at the door. I think they're trying to break the lock. No. God, please, no, make them stop. They're outside my door right now, hacking with a hatchet or a bat or an axe. It's hard to tell, but whatever they're doing, I hope they fail. But really, who am I kidding? I'm already dead. I've been dead since the beginning. Why
while I'm here with my head between my legs, I'm just pretending. It's only a matter of time until they get through that door and all the office furniture leaned against it comes crashing to the floor. Once again, I'll be face to face with the demented. While I sit here, I can't help but dwell on the first thing Munson said to me. It's the same situation this time, except instead it's me. And he was absolutely right. Here I am hiding, trapped in this corner with no escape. I know my fate. No, I don't want to die, not yet. But most likely I will. And if you're listening to this tape, it means that I've already been killed. The only thing I can hope is that I'm the last victim, that their brutality ends with me. But it's hard to believe that I don't have some sort of contingency. I pray that my family remembers me as not just the sum of my failures. I am ashamed of my behavior. As I watch them make their way here, there's only one thing left to say here. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
Yo, that's crazy.
Is it?
Who would have thought that that would have ended so terribly for that guy?
Me? I literally just said this
No.
like 5,
No,
10
you
minutes
didn't.
ago.
No, you didn't say anything like that. I will
Bro,
remember
I'm not-
that.
Bro, I'm not about to do this with you.
What are you talking about? Do what with me?
Listen. Never mind all that. Now that we listen to all these tapes, can we leave? Let's go ahead and get up out of here. It's getting late. It looks like it's about
Is
to
it?
rain. And I'm not trying to get caught in the
Oh,
rain.
it's already
bro.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's go.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Where you come from?
You scared me.
Do you know who I am?
No, sir, we don't know who you are, and we don't want to know. We're about to leave. You
My
have a great
apologies,
evening.
but I can't let you
we'll
do
see
that.
ourselves out.
You two will not be leaving this evening.
Man, I knew it. I told you was gonna get
Yo,
us
Red.
killed tonight. I told
I
you.
know who this is.
Yeah, I know who it is too. I could tell by his voice. That's the soul snatch stealing. He gonna kill us.
That's not my name.
Oh, Red, what are we
All right,
gonna
look,
do?
it's gonna happen fast.
My name
gotta
is
run.
Leonard.
Are you
M-
Shit, man. You brought a gun in here?
We gotta go. Come on. What's up? What's up, man? Come on, man. We need to go. What?
Look.
Nothing gets the blood flowing like a few gunshots to the chest. Am I right, boys? You two don't seem to understand. I don't die. I kill. That is both my curse and my blessing. Now please, if you're finished, allow me to reintroduce myself. Standing here to tell you the truth myself, I am the father of the wicked, captor of the conflicted, the path before both the inept and the gifted. Truly, I am the shepherd of the disobedient and unruly. I am the reason for the famine and the thieves. The rest of this entire species couldn't even hold a candle to what I've single-handedly achieved. I've turned best friends into enemies, and enemies into family, the memories that they hide behind their vanity. Now answer me. Should you be scared? If I'm walking up to the attic and you upstairs, are you prepared for me to haunt you every moment where you're confronted by your demons now? Because every corner you peek around, you wonder, is he around? I don't sleep, I don't eat, I just kill and repeat. Sit still and discreet as I make you bend to my will underneath. You can act like you don't notice me, but when I knock, you know it's me. And by the way, I'm immune to your crucifixes and your rosaries. You've never learned about me in any of your holy pages that you hold so sacred. The devil? No. But I am evil personified, and if you see me, people are gonna die. And since the only people around are you and I'll kill you both and stage it as a murder-suicide. You should have listened to your friend and never came in. And you should have left when you had the chance, but loyalty often betrays the man. I mean, you ran, well, at first. But then you reversed and made up some lie about getting lost. Now you're about to die, so how much did your loyalty really cost? I've killed dozens since that massacre all those years ago. The Asylum taught me, trained me to become an even more elite killing machine. showed me how to blend into the scenes without even being seen. It allowed me to learn how people think about things, taught me which drugs bring about indolence. In a sense, it showed me everyone's innocence. They were studying me and I was studying them. In the beginning, when I first arrived, I admired everyone inside. It didn't immediately occur to me that they didn't actually want to free these people. I mean, how much more innocent can you be than having a brain that doesn't function properly? It's odd to me. They were trying to heal these people that should have been killed. And I realized none of these people are monsters or beasts, just a flock of lost sheep searching for answers from masters that don't exist. Just children, abandoned by their parents so they throw tantrums and fits. It fits that they'd be afraid of a cancer infecting the population so much so that they create conflagrations that destroy entire nations. But as long as I'm around, there's no need to bother. I promise both lambs and lions alike will be slaughtered. Candlelight visuals for individuals is a futile ritual. Trust me, I'll take my time to ensure that everyone is properly erased. That you go to a positive place. That's what I can guarantee you'll get with me. This is fate, destiny. I was alone in my cell where they left me and let me be until one of the patients ejected me, and the rest you see is history. I freed every soul I encountered that night, which should be 41 deaths if I'm counting that right. Obviously, the patient who released me had to die first. Honestly, it was the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me. It was chaotic. People were panicking, running, shouting. A lot of them would just run to me. They'd come to me begging for my mercy. By now, the building was already set ablaze, engulfed in flames. What used to be bodies pressed against the exit doors trying to escape were now just charred remains. The sprinkler system's spray did nothing to quell the inferno, but I felt neither heat nor burn though. The alarm blaring through the PA system was absolutely deafening. But I am, and until my job is complete, I will be on the path to deliver the reckoning. The path of purification and elimination of anyone exhibiting any case of kindness, positive etiquette, or uplifting rhetoric. Not just unto me, but unto anyone I see, and I see all of it. Even though you don't belong in this world, you too can't die yet. You're still afraid. But once you feel this blade and your blood's been spilled and sprayed, you no longer feel this way. I know, right now you're so scared and angry. But once your souls have been prepared, you'll thank me, so don't hate me. No, and don't be scared. You're going to a wonderful place. A place where you can finally be safe.